I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Finally, The Rock has come back. I hate this idea that you're the best.
And if you're not down with that, we got two words for ya!
I'm the best in the world.
I fight at WrestleMania for the very, very small percentage of people that walk this planet and say I am proud to be, I'm sorry, a professional wrestler.
Oops, I'm breaking the fourth wall.
It's Podcast of the Immortals with your hosts, Matt Bush and Jimmy Bellamy.
All right, welcome to Podcast of Immortals, episode 37. I'm Matt Bush.
I'm Jimmy Bellamy. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
We're waiting for a reply.
We'll wait. No, we got a great episode for you tonight. We're going to talk some wrestle news, of course, right away, and then we're going to break down Raw. That's about all we got for you today, but it's going to be action-packed, just like Raw on Monday.
It is. You guys don't need to hear about extra BS this week. We're going to just give it to you straight.
We're going to get to the good stuff, you know?
Yeah. It'll be good.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to kick it off right into Wrestle News. Wrestle News number one, kind of some bad news. If you're a wrestling fan.
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Do you want to prepare yourself?
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you going to be a little verklempt?
No.
All right. Stone Cold Steve Austin said in an interview with Wrestle Inc. that he's
You're right, I'm not ready.
unlikely to ever return to the ring. Quote, chances are pretty damn slim, to be frank about it, he said.
All right, well, there's good news and bad news here. The bad news is he said that. The good news is we're talking about professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And never say never in World Wrestling Entertainment.
Was it Ric Flair? No, Macho Man Randy Savage lost a retirement match at WrestleMania 8 to Macho Man Randy Savage. Or no, I'm sorry, that was wrong.
Ultimate Warrior. To himself?
He lost to the Ultimate Warrior. I'm sorry. He lost, was it WrestleMania? It was like WrestleMania 7.
Okay, now.
And then he won the title a year later at WrestleMania. So
was it really the Ultimate Warrior?
It was Ultimate Warrior. Okay. It was probably the best Ultimate Warrior match ever.
I can't remember. Well, it was not a coincidence that he was fighting Randy Savage.
It was a great match.
It's funny that all this time has passed and I don't remember that. I do remember them feuding, but I didn't realize that it was a retirement match. I knew he had a retirement match and lost, but he was on commentary for a while on Monday Night Raw before he jumped to WCW.
Yeah. Yep, and then a year later at WrestleMania 8, he wins against Ric Flair, another guy who never retires. Speaking of people who never retire, Brett Favre is in the news again about possibly, or his agent saying he's in the best shape of his life and he could come back right now and start for a team.
And what I understand, and he could, and I wish the Vikings would take him. I seriously do.
I'd love to see it. I'm not a Viking fan, but I'm a Brett Favre fan.
That's right, you're a Packer fan.
I'm a Packer guy.
The thing about Favre, I think Steve Hutchinson was on the Power Trip morning show on KFAN radio out of Minneapolis today. And he said that from what he understood, it was Favre was working out because he doesn't have a whole lot of hobbies. Mm-hmm. And he was working out, and he's in great shape. And
just cut.
Well, and plus that Bus Cook guy, his agent. I mean, I'm sure Bus Cook doesn't do anything other than be Brett Favre's agent.
Yeah,
and when you're the agent of a 44-year-old retired NFL player, there's not a whole lot to do.
He's like E with Vinny Chase on Entourage.
Well, I've never seen Bus Cook. I've never met Bus Cook. I would have no reason to ever meet him, but every time he was ever quoted in a story, he has that boxing promoter kind of vibe to him. Where it's like you take everything he says with a grain of salt because it's all just nonsense and garbage. So, he could come back. There's no doubt. I mean, but we'll see. No, he won't come back. No one will take him.
Well, we would take Stone Cold if he decided to come back. I want to see them in another match. You assume it'd be at WrestleMania. I'm hoping to go to WrestleMania.
I'm normally against people coming back, but Stone Cold's different because he still looks the same.
Yeah,
and he could pull it off. I mean, it's not like this is
not like the Honky Tonk Man coming back.
Well, yeah, but the other side of the spectrum is the Bret Hart example when he fought McMahon. Well, that shouldn't count because he did have a stroke.
Jimmy Snuka,
and he is older than Stone Cold. But
have you seen Jimmy Snuka?
Yeah,
WrestleMania 25.
I don't want to think about that singlet.
Yeah.
I heard his daughter is in WWE.
Who's that?
Tamina Snuka.
Tamina Snuka is the daughter of WWE legend Jimmy Snuka?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I don't want to see that leopard skin singlet with pants on that he wears because he's so old.
Yeah.
He's like, I think he's close to 70. Keep talking. I'm going to look it up here. I'm going to say 72. I mean, that might be a bit. I'm going to say 72.
Well, he looked 72 when he wrestled at 25 against Jericho in that 3-on-1 match.
That was brutal.
Yeah, that was actually. Who was?
And Mickey Rourke was involved.
He was.
Jimmy Snuka's 70.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Makes you feel old.
I mean, I hope I guess. I hope I guess I can't even talk. I hope I look decent at 70. Well, I hope I look decent at 70.
I hope I'm above ground at 70.
Samesies.
Yeah. Anyways, Wrestle News number 2. After we started the show on a down note.
Wrestle News number 2. I've run 85 miles this month.
Wow.
That's not Wrestle News, but
no. I think I've driven about 82 miles, so that's good.
85.6, baby.
Yeah. The full WWE 2K14 roster was revealed.
Yep.
Along with the final WrestleMania 30 years of WrestleMania mode, and I have the list here.
Okay, do you want to? Are you going to go the whole thing, or just the guys that weren't revealed before?
I'll just go down the whole roster.
Okay,
because I forget who we already talked about.
I'm going to go get a burger.
We got AJ Lee, Oksana, Alberto Del Rio, Andre the Giant, Antonio Cesaro.
I like your Del Rio accent.
Thank you. Dave Batista, Big Show, Big John Studd, Big Show Retro, Bret Hart, Brock Lesnar Retro, Brodus Clay, Chris Jericho Retro, Christian, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes with his mustache, Damian Sandow, Daniel Bryan, Darren Young, David Otunga, which...
Lols, not going to get a lot of playtime there.
No. Did you know that David Otunga's in like the opening promo where they're showing like all the legends?
It's funny because he's like right after Vince McMahon Sr.
Like I don't know.
Awesome, David Otunga.
Good for you, man.
Because I'm sure that's Vince McMahon saying to people, "Oh, he's married to Jennifer Hudson and he's a big Hollywood star, so we got to have him in there because people who don't watch wrestling will recognize him and like it," which is just not the case. No one gives an F about David Otunga.
And he went to Harvard with Chris Nowinski.
And we're happy for him.
Yeah.
Chris Nowinski's awesome, though. Yeah. Have you seen Head Games?
No.
Head Games is a documentary. I think it's still on Netflix, and it's well worth the watch. He works at Boston University, and he works in a division that does research on brains, and they campaign to get ex-NFL players and other people, boxers, to donate their brains after they die.
Yeah.
And they study it to find CTE, which is linked to concussions. And it's a great documentary, very informative, and it's what has changed my mind every time we watch those pay-per-views and I say like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We had an example Monday night when CM Punk got put through that table.
Yeah.
And that edge of the table caught him in the back of the head. And even right there when I slapped the back of my head, I think I gave myself a concussion there. That changes everything. And that's why I don't miss headshots with chairs.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to see it. Head Games, Netflix, watch it. It's awesome.
Also, season 1 of Tough Enough with Chris Nowinski was very good.
Yeah.
And wasn't Josh Roberts on that too?
Josh Matthews.
Or Josh Matthews.
You're mixing him up with Justin.
I keep doing that.
Josh Matthews was on there. Maven.
Yeah, Maven.
And
that was a good season.
This giant dude named Jake, who I think should have been the winner.
Maven won that, didn't he?
Maven won. They picked 2 winners. It was Maven and Nydia.
Yeah.
I think. And then... Oh, fuck. Was it? Yeah. I think it was Maven and Nydia. Or did Nydia win season 2? Because there was... it was Maven and Nydia. And then in season 2, they picked 2 women. It was Jackie Gaeta, who married Charlie Haas. And then Linda... I cannot remember her name.
McMahon.
No, a tall woman who managed the Bashams. You remember the Basham brothers at all?
No, I don't.
Doug and Danny Basham. They were tag team champs. These bald dudes who there was like this S&M gimmick. I can't remember her last name. I'd look it up, but I'm tired. And then they added from that season John Morrison and then Matt Cappotelli. And Matt Cappotelli ended up having brain cancer not long after that. And he's actually doing pretty well now. He was wrestling for a long time. I think he stopped within the last couple of years, and he's like a Christian motivational speaker. But man, that dude was a good wrestler too. Tremendous wrestler. He had a pretty good run in the Indies and with OVW and that too. So they took 4 people from season 2. I'm rambling. But
well, hey,
yeah, it was.
They need to bring back Tough Enough, because that season with Stone Cold was some of the best reality TV I've ever seen. I loved everything with Stone Cold when he would just berate the contestants. I loved it. I don't, and he's mad about it. He's talked that he was mad that it wasn't renewed. He said he really, really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Kind of gave him a little shot in the arm, back in the business kind of situation. Yeah. I thought it was great. I was really excited for a season 2, and it hasn't come yet.
I don't know why, but I did not watch it.
You didn't watch it?
And
I'm going to download it for you. I'll get it.
If I think back, a couple things about it is when that show started, I didn't have. I went a short period of time where I didn't have a TV at my house, and and people are like, "What? What are you talking about?" Long story, but I think that was around that time. And I didn't really watch it.
It debuted the day after WrestleMania 27.
And
or 8. 27.
Yeah. Wait, 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was 2011.
Nope, I would have had a TV.
Okay.
I would have had a TV then. I don't know. I don't think I tuned in. I don't know why I didn't. But it probably didn't help that the guy who won ended up getting released, I think, within a year after. And I think he had some issues. I don't want to say this because I don't know if it was true. I think he may have had a DUI or something. Something legally. He did something.
He was down in FCW for a while.
What was his name? Andy Levine. Andy Levine.
I think it was
Andy.
Isn't that the guy from
That's
Room
Adam.
5?
That's Adam. But the other thing that bothered me was there was a wrestler there by the name of Matt Capiccioni. I hope I'm saying that right. But he goes by MDog20. Mm-hmm. And he started off as funny because I remember seeing him on a Backyard Wrestling tape ages ago. But he's been independent wrestling forever, and he's awesome. And I mean, he's wrestled with and against Punk and Colt Cabana forever. And they had him on this Tough Enough show, and he's like my size. I mean, he's a short dude. Yeah. He's acrobatic. He's a phenomenal performer and a great wrestler. And he didn't make it to the end, and it was just kind of like, really, this guy who has all this pedigree didn't make it, but then Daniel Bryan made it. So I don't know, whatever. But yeah, they should do it again. Plus, Trish Stratus should come back. But I'll say this: the other reason I didn't like that show, from the little bit I did see, I don't like Bill DeMott.
Yeah,
I don't like Bill DeMott.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, they're accusations, but people who have been a part of the WWE system, and I believe it's more than sour grapes, have said some terrible things about Bill DeMott.
Yeah.
And made terrible accusations about him.
Like he's got bad breath.
like he's verbally abusive, physically abusive. He just, I don't know if he's just like buddies with Triple H or Vince. I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to speculate, but that's a guy, like, I don't need to see that guy ever. Yeah. So
I agree, but it was a fantastic season. I will get that for you. I'll get it on a flash drive so you can watch it on your PS3.
I've got so many shows, dude. I don't know if I can handle another show. I'm 43 episodes into Breaking Bad now.
Well, I mean, there's no rush.
No, I know, but I feel like right now my DVR is piling up with things, and it hurts me when I have that. Like, I have to keep a clean email inbox.
Yeah,
I can't have a heavy DVR, a full DVR. It's not full. It's
so heavy.
It's
so much data.
It has 53% of its space left. It holds a lot of stuff, but I mean, I've got weeks of shows piling up that I haven't seen. I haven't seen 3 episodes of Total Divas, and it sounds so funny.
Not missing much.
I can't take on all these shows. That's why I'm watching Breaking Bad now, because I didn't want to watch it every week. I'm binging on it, and I'll be done by the end of by Saturday afternoon. I've got stand-up comedy on Saturday night, and I'm hoping to get done with Breaking Bad before stand-up. So
I gotta come see you.
I'll be on stage Friday and Saturday.
Nice. Yep. So if anyone's in the Duluth area,
if you're in Duluth, Minnesota by chance, Friday and Saturday nights at Dublin Pub, Dublin Irish Pub,
down on First
Superior
Street. All right. The roster.
Breaking news: Detroit Tigers clinch AL Central title with a 1-0 victory over the Minnesota Twins.
Wow, shocking! The Twins didn't score. We also have Dean Ambrose, Diesel, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Eddie Guerrero, Edge.
How did we get?
We got way off track.
I'm sorry for being so wordy, but I think this is why people tune in sometimes.
Yeah,
they want us to go all.
They want to talk about Brett Favre and whatever.
Cannibalism.
Bill Goldberg, of course. Heath Slater, and I saw an awesome Heath Slater shirt.
Yeah,
it said "Rise Above Slater."
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it was in like the
Where did you see that?
I don't even know. Like WWE memes, I think tweeted.
Okay, that's cool. I like it.
We got Old School Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, Jack Swagger, JBL, Jinder Mahal, John Cena Retro, John Cena, Justin Gabriel, Caitlyn, Kane Retro, King Kong Bundy, Kofi Kingston, Layla, looking disheveled. Look at that. Look at Layla.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Wow. She looks like she received bad Botox and had her mugshot taken after a DUI.
Yeah.
That's awful. And look at, like, Lita's doing the duck face.
I know. Brilliant. Lita, Mark Henry.
JBL's is really bad, too.
Yeah. I don't understand what these photos are. Mark Henry, Mick Foley, Mr. McMahon, Natalia, R-Truth, Macho Man, Randy Savage, Randy Orton, the Bad Guy, Razor Ramon, Rey Mysterio, Ric Flair, Retro Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, Roman Reigns, Ryback, Santino, Seth Rollins, Sergeant Slaughter, Iraqi sympathizer, Sergeant Slaughter.
Boo. No, I'm glad he's in there like that. That's sweet.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels Retro. Although the first Shawn Michaels looks retro Shawn Michaels too, if you look at him.
You think he looks funny?
No, I mean the first one kind of looks like a retro as well.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah, like it's an old school Shawn, but it's just regular Shawn. On there.
Dun, 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 dun.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Stephanie McMahon look like she's really young?
I don't know. Because she was in a corner at WrestleMania 16, wasn't she?
I don't know. You would know. You've seen them all.
WrestleMania 2000.
Oh, yeah, 2000. That's right. I was like 16. Yeah.
You got Sheamus, Sin Cara, Stephanie McMahon, Stone Cold, of course, Ted DiBiase, Tensai, The Miz, The Great Khali, The Rock Retro, Titus O'Neil, Triple H Retro, Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker, American Badass Undertaker Retro. They always have a bunch of Undertaker.
As they should. Yeah. Although I'm not going to get into it. They all should just have separate skins on the same person. Yeah. Or same skin.
Wade Barrett, Yokozuna, and Zack Ryder. Woo woo woo. That's the whole roster.
Woo woo woo. I would like to know. Give me one person that you wish was in that game that's not.
Lex Luger.
Okay. I'll give you one current and one former. Curtis Axel, although that'd be a little tough.
Yeah.
But there's downloadable content.
There is one that I really, really, really wish was in it.
Bray Wyatt?
No. Kurt Angle.
Yes. Yeah.
If you're going to have classic WrestleMania matches, you need Kurt Angle.
And the other thing that kind of bothers me, unless, again, they come with DLC, if you're going to have like an Eddie Guerrero, I understand he's probably in a WrestleMania moment match, whatever. But
WrestleMania 20?
I wish they would have taken the guys from this previous game and just kept them, like Road Dogg, Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
Gunn, come on.
Yeah.
They should have done that. Keep them in there.
Yeah, I wish they would have had like the Dudleys and the Hardy Boys. Mm-hmm. So we could get those triangle ladder matches.
Yeah.
That would have been sweet.
So if we got to go one guy, you picked Angle. So I'll pick a different former guy. I'd say Perry Saturn. Or what about Bruno Sammartino? There was talk that he was going to be in the game. He's not in the game.
He might be DLC, but yeah, he wasn't announced.
That's true. There are so many good ones to choose from, but a current dude, I don't like DLC because they're not on the main screen, and I'm anal retentive like that.
Yeah, you are.
That really bothers me. It really bothers me. And it takes a second for them to load. Or actually, created guys. And they're not in alphabetical order either.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I'm a douche. I'm excited for Hollywood Hogan, though.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. So they also announced the final matches to the 30 years of WrestleMania. At the last time we talked about it, we'd gone through the Attitude Era, and we'd seen the last match. I think they did all three. Or no, the last match we announced was the Rock versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania X7. And now we have the Ruthless Aggression Era, and that includes WrestleMania 18 with the Rock versus Hogan, of course.
That's really an era. They call it Ruthless Aggression.
It is, yeah. That was with the debut of all these young guys like the Ortons, the Batistas, and John Cena. Called the Ruthless Aggression Era. And if you go back and watch Cena's first match with Kurt Angle, he goes, "Why do you think you can do that?" He says, "Ruthless Aggression."
Yeah.
So WrestleMania 18 again, we have undisputed WWE Champion Chris Jericho taking on Triple H. WrestleMania 19, Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho, which is a highly underrated match. It's awesome.
Was that just their blood feud?
I don't know. It was just like, let's put the two best guys in the ring together.
I remember that.
It was awesome. WrestleMania 19, The Rock versus Stone Cold. Stone Cold's final match. Awesome stuff there. WrestleMania 20, we got U.S. Champion Big Show taking on John Cena. It was not a classic match, but it's important because it was the first match for Cena, I guess. WrestleMania 20 again, we had Goldberg versus Lesnar. Another crap match from that WrestleMania, but I think it's cool because Goldberg's going to be in the game. That was his only WrestleMania moment. WrestleMania 21, JBL taking on John Cena. John Cena's first WWE Championship win. WrestleMania 22, Edge versus Mick Foley in the hardcore match. Like, the awesome match. WrestleMania 23, Batista taking on The Undertaker. WrestleMania 23 as well, John Cena taking on Shawn Michaels, which is probably John Cena's greatest match, in my opinion. WrestleMania 24, Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair, which was named, like, match of the decade.
That's a good match.
Yeah. Really, really cool. WrestleMania 24 as well, we have Randy Orton taking on John Cena versus Triple H. Then we have the WWE Universe era. I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently that's what they're calling it. We got WrestleMania 25, Edge taking on Cena versus Big Show. That's when Cena put both of them on his back for the AA, and then Edge fell off.
Please, the FU.
Oh, right. WrestleMania 25 as well, Triple H versus Randy Orton. Really crap match again. That crowd was dead after the Undertaker Shawn Michaels match at 25. Kind of happened this year again after Undertaker CM Punk. Anyways, WrestleMania 26, we got Chris Jericho taking on Edge, which was an okay match. WrestleMania 26 as well, Batista John Cena. 26, Undertaker versus Shawn. That's the streak versus the career match. Really, really cool. Both matches were good at 25 and 26. They chose to go with 26. So WrestleMania 27, Edge versus Del Rio. I don't even know why they have that in there. 27 again, they have Miz taking on John Cena. Yep, that's
another one? Edge Cena one-on-one. So he said?
Miz
John
Cena at WrestleMania 27.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
I guess. It's kind of like, well, we have the rights to these guys. Let's just put them in there, you know? WrestleMania 28, Undertaker versus Triple H, Hell in a Cell match with Shawn Michaels refereeing. Really cool. WrestleMania 28 as well, CM Punk versus Jericho, and The Rock versus Cena from 28. And then WrestleMania 29, we got CM Punk versus The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar versus Triple H, and The Rock versus Cena too.
Awesome.
That's the whole roster. I like it. There were some omissions, but
there always will be omissions. It's just like every time there's an all-star game, people are like, well, this guy got snubbed. Yeah. It's like, yeah, because you can't have everybody on a team.
Yeah.
And who gives a shit? It's an all-star game. But for this, There are so many guys, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. I want a game that has everybody. And just do it. Just get everybody in there. And we will see the best guys, our favorite guys. But yeah, they leave out guys, and I responded. And so...
I wasn't gonna.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna like the game. Because I would love to see guys like Demolition, the Powers of Pain, but
they didn't have those WrestleMania moments.
But no, I'm saying in these games, period. I'm not talking about WrestleMania moments. But
you can download them. The community
these guys only have so much time to make these games, and they have to pump them out annually. I'm sure they're working on 15 right now. So whatever.
Cool. Wrestling News number 3. We're almost halfway through the show. We haven't even gotten through Wrestling News yet.
We'll skim over Raw because it was a real skimmable Raw anyway.
I actually kind of enjoyed Raw this week.
It wasn't that bad, but it was skimmable, in my opinion.
Wrestling News number 3, RVD is set to leave the WWE sometime in October.
Hooray!
For a short break.
So does that mean he won't win the title?
He's leaving either after Battleground or Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. It said it was written into his contract he would work 90 days, have some time off, and then work 90 more. So that's all we're getting. Yeah, so RVD is set to leave sometime soon.
I like RVD, and his arms are getting a little bigger too. He's getting back into regular shape. Although he's got that tum-tum.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like a malnourished 5-year-old. He's just got that little tummy.
He's doing all the same moves, but he's just a little slow. Mm-hmm. Like, everything just takes a little longer for him to do, which is fine. You know, I still couldn't do it.
I give it up to RVD.
Yeah.
Dude's awesome.
Awesome. All right, so we'll finally get into Raw. It starts off with Triple H and Stephanie coming out. The 10 men who interfered last week are lined up on the stage. Steph says, "Thanks for stepping up and being men." Now, I was surprised. You know, you'd think she'd be upset. Rob Van Dam says that they were fighting for Daniel Bryan because they were fighting for what is right, and fighting for him is what's right. Triple H was surprised by this. Says he's never seen someone fight for a WWE champion. They only fought to be a WWE champion, and that was a good point. Triple H also says that they will get an opportunity tonight in an elimination handicap match against the Shield, and their partner will be Daniel Bryan. It's 11-on-3, which is weird because it's like stacking the odds against their own guys. But on SmackDown, did you watch SmackDown?
Yeah, I did.
And did you see what the Shield?
And it was a gauntlet match.
Yeah,
11-on-3,
and that was awesome. I thought that was a really cool. Idea. I haven't seen something like that in a while, or ever really. I don't know.
I don't get it though. I mean, like I told your boy and my boy Andy McKinnon, I will give it time and figure out. They'll answer this question next week or whatever. But I don't get it. Why would this heel regime, unless you can enlighten me, give an opportunity like that to the baby faces of the group?
I was really surprised. I mean, usually it would be like 11-on-3 against them.
Yeah. I don't understand. You don't put heels in that position.
Yeah.
And I don't know, unless this is part of a bigger story for the Shield, if this, I mean, because really this positioned them as the guys to root for in a way.
And I was kind of rooting. I mean, Roman Reigns was awesome.
Yeah. And this was,
we'll talk about that more.
And this was the first time he got pinned on TV.
Yeah. But that was, I really liked the whole match. I thought it was cool, but it did seem odd that was a punishment that they got to outnumber them more than 3-1.
Yeah.
4-1.
And they got it down to 6-3 and then 5-on-2. But that was as close as they came.
Yeah.
And you had the Usos surviving, Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, and Darren Young.
Yeah. That was good stuff. Kofi took on ADR. It was actually a pretty good match, I thought. Really hot crowd in Chicago, of course. ADR
Crowd was outstanding.
Good job, guys. ADR wins with the cross arm breaker, of course. But yeah, that match went on pretty long, actually, and I really enjoyed the whole thing.
I did too. I'm liking Kofi more and more, and it'd be nice to see him break out and be an upper. Well, I mean, he's kind of an upper mid-carder or whatever, but it'd be nice to see him be a main event player, but there's not a whole lot of room.
No, he's always been one of those guys who, like, trades the Intercontinental Championship or tag team and never goes above it. It's just always kind of there.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of his ceiling, though.
I thought at the start of that show, starting with that match, that all of the 11 guys were going to be beaten up and weakened for this match, and that it would be like easy for the Shield because some guys wouldn't show up or whatever, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, well, whatever. The Wyatts took on the primetime players. The Wyatts won after a huge clothesline from Harper. And that's a pretty cool move, but, like, why is it more powerful if he spins around before a clothesline rather than just not?
I don't know. And it's just how they do it to try to stand out, I guess.
They've had a really weird run of new finishers for new guys where none of it seems good.
I think everybody's trying to do something that's original or something that's, never been seen. And what gets lost in it, I think, is the believability of the move and also the impact of the move. One that does stand out to me as a great one is Seth Rollins' stomp to the head.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I say I hate headshots with chairs and everything. I do hate headshots, but I believe and I trust that Seth Rollins is a good enough wrestler that he can do it without harming his opponent.
Daniel Bryan's knee to the face is another good one.
Yeah, it is.
But, like, Sister Abigail... Like,
now it's Sister Abigail's kiss.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of just... he lays him there and then he rolls him over. That's not a move. And, like, Dean Ambrose is like, I'm going to take your forehead and push it down. And then there's someone else, too, who kind of has a move like that. And it just...
I think, though, if you think about it, just with the history of pro wrestling and now the visibility of it, people are trying to do things that haven't been seen, and also they don't want to copy other people. I know some wrestlers believe or have a philosophy that it'd be like stealing a move and that you wouldn't want to do that. I mean, you're not going to see somebody really do a Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah.
I mean, while no one will mistake it for a stunner, Santino does something kind of similar where he does that, where he gets down in the splits.
Yeah.
But we saw Luke Harper do that clothesline from Hell, which they referenced, which Michael Cole and JBL referenced. But I think that's the thing. They're trying to do something new. I mean, we saw you had Rock do the rock bottom, and then Booker T did the bookend, where it's the same move.
Yeah.
Other than they had their mannerisms and movements in it, but
well, I really,
they need to bring back the bear hug. Bring back the bear hug.
No. I really liked when Ziggler was using the super kick.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to be an awesome new move for him. And I thought he was going to break out, you kind of using that move. And they've gone away from it. And I don't understand why. Like, I was excited for it. But he would never get pins on it. It wasn't like a good finisher for him because...
He has the zigzag. Yeah. He has the Famouser. Funny thing, though, with that Famouser, the fact that's called the Famouser... where they didn't change the name of it from Billy Gunn. But sometimes it's almost a setup move. He doesn't get a whole lot of pins off of it, which to me makes Billy Gunn look weak. But I don't know. Well, or I guess technically that wouldn't make Billy Gunn look weak. It would make Ziggler look weak.
Yeah, exactly.
Never mind, I'm an idiot. I think it's disrespectful to Billy Gunn, though. I don't really feel
that way. It is a big Billy Gunn fan.
I don't really feel that way, but I do love Billy Gunn.
Our next segment was Miz TV. Big Show's on as a guest. Miz says if they can break down the Big Show, they can break down anyone. But it's time for the Big Show to step up and like be a man. At this, Stephanie McMahon comes out.
Be a man, Hogan.
Stephanie says Miz knows he isn't a major player, and I love this. Stephanie was so good in this. God,
Stephanie's great with
week
Big
by
Show.
week. Yeah,
she's great.
But she comes out and she just tears down the Miz, and she says she knows that the Miz isn't a major player, and there is nothing worse than a superstar who's peaked too early.
Someone should have been in there going church. Yeah, I mean, we saw it with Edge and Triple H last week. Was that last week? 2 weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. And we saw it here with Miz and Steph. Just spot on reality.
Yeah. She goes, if there's ever like a mall that needs to be opened, we call the Miz. if a radio show needs someone at 5 a.m. to call in, we know who to call. The Miz. He'll do it for us. She says he's basically a role player.
Yeah, if there's a faraway country that no one wants to go to or has ever heard of, we send the Miz.
Send the Miz.
Which they did recently. He was, although I think he was in like Dubai or something, United Arab Emirates, which would be pretty badass to be. That'd be cool.
And I love when they do that kind of stuff, when they like really call out what's really going on. And they've gotten away from that. And I'm really glad.
I'm breaking down the wall.
Awesome. And then she has the Big Show knock him out. And there was no hesitation from the Big Show.
It's gonna be that he's gonna be their crony.
Their muscle.
And he's gonna love doing it.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's the Big Slow.
Just get fat stacks.
Fat stacks of booster provided cash.
Yeah. So really good segment, I thought. It got over the Miz, I feel. Like, I think this is going to give him fuel for going forward.
The Miz has built-in launching pads, and this is one of them. All they need to do is just press play, and they can elevate him back to the main event scene.
Yeah.
As long as he flounders, whatever the fuck I'm trying to say. As long as he stays where he is, no one's going to care about him, and he will be irrelevant.
Yeah.
But if they can use this to catapult him into the main event, he'll be back doing things that matter.
Yeah.
And people will believe it.
You know, I really like...
I don't think he'll do it as a babyface, though. He's got to be a heel.
I loved his run as champion, actually.
Yeah.
I thought he was great. And, like, my favorite moment of that entire run, I think he had it for, like, 7 months.
He won it. He won it in December by cashing in on Randy Orton, which that'd be a great way to put him in. I mean, when Orton gets the belt back, I mean, you can add the Miz to it, and then he lost it at WrestleMania in what, April?
So like 4 months,
4 or 5 months, yeah.
And I loved it. But when he came out and everyone thought he was The Rock.
Yes.
Do you remember that? That was so cool. I thought that.
That wasn't during his title run,
wasn't it?
No, that was during. You're right. It was. Never mind.
Yeah, he was champion.
You're right.
Really cool. He was with Alex Riley at the time, and I don't know, it just worked. And main event at WrestleMania sucked, but what you gonna do?
It wasn't the Miz's fault for that main event sucking, by the way.
No,
not at all.
The Rock, kind of. Yeah. Anyways, Randy Orton took on RVD. RVD was picked by the WWE Universe against Dolph Ziggler and R-Truth.
It was November 22nd, 2010.
So about
won it.
5-6 months.
And he lost it May 1st.
There you go.
So yeah, he had it for...
he held it through WrestleMania.
He had it for like 6.5 months.
Yeah.
That's right, he did win it. He did not lose it at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how bad that whole thing was. Or just maybe how long ago in our minds that main event was that we forgot. It does
seem way long ago. Yeah. It's less than 3 years ago.
I came to play...
Randy Orton took on RVD. RVD, like I said, was picked by the Universe. Okay match. Turned into another beatdown by Randy Orton. Just going to that place.
Oh my God, sadistic. He hears voices. Vintage Orton.
Vintage.
That Viper is coiling.
What did you call him?
The Apex Predator?
No, like Rorton or something?
Dr. Ton.
Dr. Ton. Yeah,
I don't know if I ever said this on the podcast, but from WWF No Mercy, my voice cracked because I'm 5. Voices crack at 5, right?
Yeah.
If you're a llama, that doesn't make sense. That was just the first animal that came to my mind. I'm 14. No Mercy, Nintendo 64. I played that game forever. I mean, that game came out like in 2000 or 2001. And I would continue to update characters and create characters throughout the years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, back in like 03, 04, I created Randy Orton. And when they're in the ring, you'd have the 4 corners with the nameplate and their power or whatever and their spirit level. And Orton, the O looked like a D, and then the R with it made it look like Doctor, and then what was left over, T-O-N. So it looked like
Dr. Ton.
Ton. And I mean, I guess you could say Ton, because that's how you spell
sure.
Ton. But we never called him Dr. Ton. My friends and I called him Dr. Ton. So to this day, anytime we see Randy Orton, my friends and I reference it, and we say, "Oh, Dr. Ton." That's what we call him. And then on Friday night, I was hanging out with two of my brothers, and I was with my oldest brother, who's 36, and he used to watch wrestling when we lived together in college, when we were roommates, and he hasn't seen it in years. But we turned on the TV and SmackDown was on, and Orton was on, and he goes, "Who's that?" And I go, "That's Dr. Ton." And he goes, "Oh my God, I didn't recognize him. It is Dr. Ton."
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Speaking of guys who you might not recognize, the Los Matadors are debuting next week. Primo and Epico.
Are they going to be on SmackDown since they tweeted about being on SmackDown or whatever?
I don't know.
They did a hashtag SmackDown. I want to tweet and I'm yawning because I'm tired.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's late at night.
It is.
I don't know. I don't know what to expect from this. It seems like a weird... Because they're Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Matadors are typically known from Mexican bullfighting. Correct?
Yeah. Spain or Mexico.
Spain or Mexico, yeah. So, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, but it's still Vince McMahon's WWE. And if anybody knows how to do ridiculous racial stereotypes, it's Vince McMahon.
That is true. Speaking of stereotypes, Santino took on Fandango.
Who?
Santino Marella.
No, who did he take on?
Fandango.
Who?
Fandango.
Okay.
All right. Fandango wins with a big leg drop off the top. I was a little worried that they were going to job him again because Santino just came back.
I was a little concerned about that as well.
Alas, it was not to be seen. CM Punk then comes out to a massive pop in his hometown of Chicago, of course. He's wearing a Blackhawks jersey.
Duncan Keith,
alternate captain. It's announced that Punk will take on Ryback at Battleground. Mm-hmm. Punk comes out and he quiets the crowd, says he let him down. He lost to Paul Heyman. He didn't bring the Stanley Cup to Chicago that night, even though he tried, apparently.
It's being engraved in Montreal.
Yeah, Cup's coming to Duluth.
It is. Next week, I think.
Yeah. Didn't bring the Stanley Cup to Chicago, and he's not sure if he can do this anymore. But he says the Blackhawks have inspired him to not give up because they were down 3-1. They came back and they won and blah, blah, blah. Heyman then rolls up in his little scooter singing New York, New York. Says CM Punk is like Chicago, the second city and the second best in the world. I thought that was great.
Second rate, yeah.
Punk attacks and then is met by Curtis Axel and Ryback tosses Punk through a table to end the segment. And that was a vicious table shot.
I couldn't believe that he was taking it. Not because Punk doesn't do stuff like that, but I thought, there's no way he's going to go through this table the way he did with that military press and then the tip over. That was a surprise
awesome.
to me. It was excellent. I just hope he was okay.
Yeah.
Because he took that I'm sure that unintended shot to the back of the head with the side of the I guess not the corner of the table, but the side of it.
Yeah. What I really liked is that after he was clearly, beat up by it, they followed him like to the back while the next match was happening.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, you never see that.
And I guarantee you he had a concussion. I guarantee it. I know they're playing it, I think, playing it off as a fictional injury. So that helped add to it. That added to the realness of it for me.
Yeah.
I liked it. Good touch.
Cool. Next match we had was the Divas throwaway match. And 5-on-5. Anytime you have 5-on-5, it's just going to end in a weird way.
Well, and the funny thing about these Divas matches that include so many people, if you have a person on the team that doesn't get into the match, it's a total waste.
Yeah.
And they had that. Naomi and Cameron never got into the match.
There were a lot of people who did get in the match. Brie Bella actually pins AJ after I forget I don't even know what they call it.
It was the Bellaplex, right?
Bellaplex, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's it. Well, no, the where they smash your face into the ground.
The X Factor? That's what X-Pac did. The X Factor.
Yeah, the X Factor.
X Factor. I think they're going to incorporate Brie more into the main storyline now that they've acknowledged on Raw that she is dating Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, and I really like that when Randy Orton came up and like.
Did you see last week when Orton was walking in the back, when Bryan was walking in the back to get ready for his big match against? I think he was taking on all members of the Shield. I can't remember whatever he did Monday night when the whole roster came out. I think he was fighting, and maybe it was just he was fighting Reigns. I can't remember. It was just last week. I think I'd remember.
Yeah.
But he was in the back, and everybody was like coming up to him saying "Good luck, good luck," and then he looked at Brie and like they hugged. So it was kind of a nice little touch.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did cut to backstage, and Randy Orton was like harassing Brie. He's like, "I'm gonna beat Daniel Bryan, and don't you want to be with a real man?"
I'm
this
sorry.
Is what a real man looks like.
I didn't mention this in the beginning. I'm so sorry.
Oh boy.
Keep with your Orton rant right there.
Okay.
We'll pause it. We'll pause it right there. But Triple H, did you notice that he said frustrated or frustration?
No.
Over and over again. Yeah, I don't know if it was he's an educated man, I guess.
Did it frustrate you that?
Yeah, it did. He's a smart man, and I'm wondering if
he's from Connecticut.
Somebody dared him to just go out there and say it like that, or like if he lost a bet and he had to do that. He said frustration like 5, 6, or 7 times, and I think we all know it's frustration.
With an R.
Yeah, 2 R's in it, FR, and he was saying it like it didn't have an R, like frustration, and it bothered me so much. And also, I've been meaning to say this the last couple weeks. Monday Night Raw feels more like Monday Night Recap. It's too much with the. Just in case you weren't watching 10 seconds ago, here's what happened.
Here's a recap.
We're going to show you for 3 minutes this.
And then we're going to show you how to download the WWE app. They started that up again.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they have a lot of idiot fans who don't know how to do that. Okay, back to Orton. Orton is what Ryback would call a bully. Not a bully, but a bully. He's a bully.
He reminds me so much of, is it Skip or from Back to the Future? Biff.
You are so bad with names, dude.
I really am.
Unreal.
I know, I'm sorry.
I think you're joking. Like, no. I think you're just doing this to be, like, funny.
No, I'm bad at names.
You're bad.
So Biff, he's exactly like Biff on Back to the... And I
Biff
love it.
Tannen.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not trying to do that, I mean, it's like a spot on, and like... He should just be like really dumb about it too. Like, why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
I think he's that'd be just a total ripoff.
Well, yeah,
I think he's trying to be O'Doyle from Happy
Gilmore.
I'm sorry, Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Because he keeps saying Ryback rules.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's like a Biff. I'm sure he draws inspiration from Biff, as all of us should.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I just love it though. I really, really, really enjoy Ryback right now, and I never thought I'd say that.
Well, I think I've been. We could probably cite several episodes where I've shit on him, but
yeah.
I'm a big Ryback guy. I'm a big fan of the big guy. Yeah, but this version of Ryback is the best.
Yeah, and the stuff with him and Paul Heyman, it just makes me laugh so much, and I don't understand it. I don't know where they came up with this idea, but it's just brilliant. And every time I look at it, I just crack up.
It's good.
Yeah, it's really great. That kiss they shared, I wish I had that on a GIF.
Oh, I know it's going to be days, just a matter of days before you send that to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's a GIF. Did you know that?
It is, yeah. I refuse to call it a GIF.
GIF.
If you wanted to call it a GIF, just put a J.
Respect the creator. It's a GIF.
All right, whatever.
It's.
I saw this. Like I don't know. It was a stand-up comedian. He was talking about like one time I accidentally sent a text to my girlfriend. And it was like, "You stupid bitch, I hate you." And then I'm like, stupid. Autocorrect. I meant to say I loved you or something.
You did that?
I don't know where I was going.
You did that to a dude?
No.
Autocorrect.
I don't. Well, I don't even know why I brought that up.
It's because
What were we talking about
We were talking
before?
about GIFs.
GIFs. Oh yeah. I don't know. Or no, I was gonna. Put like name your child like something normal, like Steve.
Are you high? What's going on right now?
All right. Say you name, you're talking about GIF and GIF. He wrote it GIF, but he calls it GIF. Like if you named your kid Steve, but you wrote it like ST7EVE, and you're like, oh, the 7's silent. Like you just call it Steve. Well, why put the 7 there? Why not put a J there? Is kind of what I'm saying.
Here's my question: does the GIF
stand for something?
Is it short for? Is it like graphic, interactive, fractal?
Well, even if it
said fractal.
even if it stands for something, you shouldn't.
Graphic, interactive.
Why call it a GIF then? Because there's no J. Why not just call it a GIF?
You got me. You're right. You're
Exactly.
absolutely right.
Exactly. Steve with a 7.
I know.
The 7 is silent. Okay. That was weird. I apologize. Daniel Bryan comes out next and says he wasn't part of a conspiracy at Night of Champions.
Conspiracy.
Yeah. And he claims that he will win at Battleground. Says he thinks it's a conspiracy by the corporation because obviously, he was going to win. Like, why would he didn't need to. He goes, you don't need a fast count when you've knocked someone out. At this, the Shield come out and surround the ring and are attacked by Goldust and Cody Rhodes, which was awesome.
That was sweet, except Goldust shouldn't have been wearing face paint.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason for him to paint his face there. That was stupid.
I just imagine, like, if it was real, they're like, hey, man, do you think I should paint my face tonight? He's like, no, we're trying to be inconspicuous. I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
lame-o. But no, the attack was cool, except it got broken up too fast for the camera work.
Yeah.
It wasn't a camera goof, but of course, if they're not employees of WWE and they invade an event like that, of course they're going to have Security on them. But yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. It's good to see Cody Rhodes come back. Obviously, they're going forward with this whole angle, and I love it. Elimination handicap match was next. This was our main event. I didn't even write down the people who were in it, but I did write a huge spear on Justin Gabriel. Holy cow. Roman Reigns, he was looking like Goldberg a little bit. And I just love those super powerful dudes who look super powerful.
Yeah,
in the ring.
I like Reigns because he's that and he's quick.
Yeah,
that he's got it, and I hope they continue to.
There were a couple big spears in that match because he basically destroyed. It did look like a Goldberg spear, that one on Justin Gabriel, because they set it up perfect. I mean, he just boom and it's over, and then I think like Santino came. Or no, who was the next guy out? I forget. Kofi or something.
I can't remember.
Or no, Zack Ryder. And Ryder went for the
the broski boot.
Broski boot, and he Reigns just destroys him with another spear, and he was running roughshod, as we like to say. And then he actually got eliminated after Daniel Bryan kind of went crazy, and he was hit by one of the Usos' splash.
Yeah, that surprised me too.
Yeah,
when he got eliminated, I thought, "Wow."
Yeah,
because before that happened, I thought that the Shield would eliminate everybody or close to.
Yeah,
that it would get down to like Bryan and Ziggler or something, or Bryan and the Usos.
First time he was pinned in WWE in like a year ever. Dean Ambrose was next, or was eliminated by Ziggler, and it left 5-on-1.
At least on TV, I'm sure he got pinned at house shows and stuff.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. 5-on-1. Rollins is all alone taking on Daniel Bryan. Dolph Ziggler was RVD.
The last guys, how many?
Yeah, it was 5-on-1.
Oh, I mentioned it to you earlier.
I know. I can't remember.
The Usos, Darren Young, Ziggler, Daniel Bryan.
So RVD was eliminated.
RVD was like one of the first guys eliminated.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I forget. And basically, the remaining members.
He may have been the first guy eliminated. In fact,
possibly. I can't remember. I think like Kofi was or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but he was one of the guys eliminated.
Basically, the remaining members attacked Seth Rollins, and
they attacked. I'm sorry. I'm being a dick. I'm sorry. I don't know why I need to apologize.
Attacked.
It's late. I'm sorry.
The Shield then returned.
I want to apologize. Okay.
All right. The Shield then returned to the ring, but are pushed back. Rollins and Daniel Bryan are left in the ring, and Daniel Bryan hits his huge knee to the face for the 1-2-3 pin, and the good guys win.
Yeah, what I didn't understand is why they weren't DQ'd when it was like 5-on-1 and they all come in.
And they all come in and attack. Yeah.
Why was that not a DQ? And why did they announce that the winner was Daniel Bryan?
Maybe all 4 were eliminated, and they were disqualified at that point. I don't know.
Maybe, but they didn't make that clear.
No, and we've talked about this before. Like when Cena and Ryback were in that match, the Last Man Standing match, and it just ended. Mm-hmm. And there was no, it's just over. Yeah.
God, and that's at a pay-per-view, too.
Yeah.
But this one, you're right. Maybe they did get DQ'd, but they didn't ring, well, I suppose you couldn't ring the bell, but they never had the ref be like, you're out, you're out. I don't know. And the announcers didn't say anything about those guys being eliminated.
No. And maybe that was the plan, like, oh, they got eliminated and there's only one left. But yeah, it seemed kind of lame.
It was.
Yeah. But I did like the Raw. I thought we had good action, good storyline progression. Good stuff overall.
I'm curious to find out why Triple H put the Shield in that position. If it's just going to be this is tough love excuse, or if it's going to be more significant to the storyline, because it just seems out of character to do that for a heel regime to do that to it. They're guys, they're boys. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, cool stuff. That's all we got for this week. Thanks for listening, guys. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at ImmortalsPeakcast, at 97Bush, at Jimmy Bellamy.
And
Wrestle News.
At Wrestle News. And just enjoy the series finale of Breaking Bad on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we will talk next week and have a preview to Battleground, because we'll have our predictions too, because the pay-per-view will be Sunday, October 6th.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.
In the words of Matt, peace.
Peace.